talking about dartboards. Dartboards go back all the way to the 14th century, which is more than 700 years ago. And back in the day, archers used to practice their skills. But now, as time went by, they developed it to make it a game. And this is how the standard one looks like right now. Let's talk about the number placements. As you can see, the number placements look pretty random. It looks like there's no pattern. It looks like they just put random numbers in random places. But that's not the case. Every big number you see, like 18, 20, or 19, are surrounded by small numbers like 1 or 5, or 1 or 4, or 7 or 3, which it takes more risk in order to hit a smaller number than to the bigger number that you wished for. So let's say I was trying to aim at 20, but accidentally got 1, and that gives me lower points, which I might lose the game. But for 11 and 10, they're next to one big number and one small number. Like 10 is next to 15, which is one big number, and next to 6, which is one small number. Or 11, which is next to 8, one small number, and next to 14, which is one big number. And the lower the number is, the higher the number is next to them. Like 20, it has 1 or 5, which are the lowest numbers. But let's say 14 is next to 11 and 9, which are a little bit more bigger. So if you want to get the biggest number, you gotta risk trying to hit the smallest ones, which makes it more risky. The standard amount of players is 2. So you can play with 2 players, like how I played with my dad and me. But you can also play with yourself or with more than 2 players, but you need more darts. And right now we have 2 colors, black and red. And each of them have 4, so each player will get 4 darts. But it depends on the darts, because sometimes you get 3, sometimes you get 4. Now I will talk how the scoring works. If you hit outside the colors and you hit at the outer rim, that's 0 points. Or if it just falls to the ground, that's 0 points. So you don't get any points. But if it hits to this ring, the outer ring right here, it's 2 times the point. It's 2 times the point. So let's say I threw this at 5. So you have to multiply 2 times 5, which is 10. Or I threw it at 16. 2 times 16, 20, 32. But as you see, there are black and white rims. These ones, they don't change. That's the same number you threw it at. Like this one is at 2. So if it's on the black rim, it's 2. And if it's here as well, it's also 2. So the number you threw it at won't change. So if it's at 9, it's 9. If it's at 20, it's 20. And now we're at this ring. This is smaller, but this is 3 times. So if you hit it at, let's say, 18, you have to multiply 3 times 18. Or if you hit it at 20, you have to multiply 3 times 20, which is 60. And so anything to land on, let's say 10, it's 30, because you multiply by 3. So this rim is just multiplying by 3 on the number you hit. And now this rim, the second last rim, that's worth 25 points. Doesn't matter where you hit it, like if it's on 13, it doesn't mean you multiply 25 by 13 or add or subtract or something like that. It's the same. So if you hit it, it's 25. No difference. 25 all the time. But you might all be saying, what about the target? That's like the winning target, right? It's actually not. It's actually only worth 50 points, which sounds a lot, but it's not, because the highest number you can get with only 1 shot is 60, which actually made me pretty disappointed, because I thought once you hit the target, you automatically win, but it wasn't the case. It's also called bullseye. So if you hit it, you can say bullseye! One more thing, before we go on to the next topic, of course. If let's say this dart hit the bullseye, but the other team's players also hit the bullseye, but knocked yours off. Then that doesn't count. It has to stick to the board until the end. On to our third topic. There's also worldwide competitions, if you haven't known. You can search it up on YouTube after you watch this video, of course. There are world competitions on dart games where people compete by each other to see who is the best at playing darts. I remember you had to hit the inner rim first. And I remember they weren't like magnets like this one. They were needles with a wooden dartboard. That also reminds me, there are two different types of dartboards. One is like the metal and magnet. The other is the wood and needle, which is a bit more dangerous. That's why they made another. That's why they made another version. They're still the same, but a little bit more safer. So you know, it doesn't hurt. You can play darts at home. You can play darts at school. You can play darts anywhere if it's allowed. But don't play with the needle ones. They can damage your wall, like make holes in the walls. It can hurt someone or something. So remember, always use the safe one. Unless you're a professional player. This is the end of the video. I hope you guys like it. You can share it with your family members and friends. And if you want more detail about the dartboard games, you can search it on Google. There's lots of information, and there's also a whole article about dartboards. And we might make more videos about like games like this. And the next one is probably Spot It. And we'll see you guys later. Subscribe to my channel. Give me a huge thumbs up. Bye! Oh, taking turns with them. First, we will be talking about